Okay, so we're now going to look at two formulas, but in the context of formulas that can do manipulations on text. And again, we'll do the same style of actually looking at the syntax, looking at the result it brings back, and then we're going to type out the formula so you can get a feel of how it works again. Okay, so I've got this word here, hello. Now, it's all typed in lowercase. So we're going to ask the question, how can we make this all uppercase? Now, the most obvious way is simply to retype it again, all in capitals, or type it on a separate cell, all in capitals again. However, what happens if you've got thousands of entries, all lowercase, and you want to make them all uppercase? Are you going to type them out individually, one by one? No. So fortunately, Excel has a function for this where it basically takes one argument, and that is the actual cell itself, and it will make all the text uppercase automatically. Okay, so just looking at our formula syntax and our actual formula here, you can see that the result we got back is basically all capitals. In other words, all uppercase. Now, similar to the maths formulas, I've got another formula here, which is basically just showing the formula typed out because it makes it slightly easier rather than having to look at the formula bar over here or double click. So just looking at the formula syntax here, you can see that we start off with equals, we've got the name of the function, we've got an open bracket, we've got our one parameter or function argument, which is C36, and we've got a close bracket. So this formula will basically take any cell where you've got text and make it all uppercase. So let's type this in here and see how it works when we type. I'm going to double click, start off with equals, and then as you type, you can see we get the familiar drop-down function list, and you can already see upper because we don't have many functions in Excel which start with U. We're going to carry on typing anyways. So if I type upper, you can see it's narrowed it down just to this function here, which is called upper. And we've got our little tooltip, which basically explains what the function does. So it converts a text string to all uppercase letters. This is what we want? Yes. Okay. So you can either double click here, or you can carry on typing. So you would basically just type the open bracket. Now, if you'll notice this, as we type, just remember the tooltip will disappear, as will the function name, but it's replaced by basically the function, and it's showing you what the argument is. So in other words, text. So whatever goes in this parameter has to be text. Okay, so I'm going to select C36. And I'm going to close the bracket. Now, just before I press enter, I just want to highlight one thing. In the previous examples we did, we double clicked on the actual drop down formula when it gave it to us, and it automatically made this all uppercase. Now, you can do that way, or you can do it like this, and when you press enter, it will automatically then just convert all this lettering to uppercase. So whichever method you prefer. Okay, so I'm going to press enter. And as you can see, we've got our result. Now, if I just double click in, you can see that this has been made uppercase. And we've got this familiar blue color, which is again matching here. So just to re-emphasize the knowledge we covered earlier, the parameter color here matches what we've selected here. So this is just to help you as an Excel user visualize clearly on the sheet where you're drawing your parameters from. Okay, so let's move on to another example. Now, similarly how we've just taken a word which is lowercase and made it all uppercase, let's do the reverse. So we've got this word here, goodbye, and it's all in uppercase. Now, we've got our function upper, which was here. So naturally, to make everything lowercase, we've got another function, and in this case, it's called lower. So I've typed it in here, and you can see that we've got our result of goodbye, and it's all lowercase. Right. So, just to explore the syntax again, it's all familiar. We've got our standard equal sign, lower, open bracket, one argument it takes, which is C45, and then we've closed the bracket. So let's type that in and see what we get when we type it. We press equals. We start typing. Now, you'll notice this drop-down list of Excel functions is pretty big. So you could actually either scroll down on the list and find your function, or you could just carry on typing. Personally, I'd carry on typing just because when your hands are on the keyboard, it's a bit quicker than using a mouse sometimes. So carry on typing until you get lower. Now, previously we carried on typing all the way, but just to show you again that if you double click on your selected function, it will automatically make it uppercase. We're going to try that method. There. And as you can see, it's made it all uppercase here. And we've got our new tooltip, which basically is telling us the argument type that needs to go here. In other words, whatever you put here, make sure it references text. So we're going to type in C45, which is here. Close the bracket, press enter. There. You can see that it has gone to lowercase. Now, just to show you that these functions are actually working, if I change this word to boat, but typed it all in capital letters, you can see that our formulas update here. And similarly, for this one over here, if I change this to all lowercase, a different word, let's say plain, you can see our functions have updated here. So we've got plain, but it's all in capitals. Okay, so I'm just going to undo those two changes. Right, so we have looked at two Excel text formulas, and we have broken down the syntax and checked that they work as well. So we've now covered two math formulas and two text formulas. So what we're going to do now is go through a couple of worked examples where we will look at a certain problem and then break it down with a function and then build a formula with it. And then after that, of course, you've got your own tasks for the session to do as well.